morning. It is Monday, March 8th, and it is the 383 day. So last week on Wednesday, we had the 333 portal, and we talked about that and about what the number 3 means, the information coming through for the number 3, which was that we are getting partial information, right? Something new is starting, it's a beginning, and all the pieces are not there yet. They're still moving around, but you're kind of getting the energy of it, the gist of it, okay? Today, 383, we're getting another piece of the puzzle. So that could come through in a very obvious way today, or it could be very subtle. Something we have to remember, generally speaking, with everything happening right now, is that we're currently in the internal phase of shifting. So that means a lot of the changes, the big changes, are being made manifest within ourselves, within our thought patterns, within our actual bodies. It's not a, sometimes we love to see things as a big bang externally so we can say, oh, this just happened, but that's not where we're at yet. So pay attention to what's happening to you internally, because we have, what is the 8th today? So we have just under 2 weeks left in this phase, and then we hit Aries season. We hit the spring equinox, and Venus moves out of Pisces, and it's going to be a completely different energy in a split second. So stay here now. Don't jump ahead into that. Know that it's coming, so there's an end date to all of the internal tumult that you're probably in some level experiencing right now. I know for me, it kind of feels like every day I wake up and I'm not sure exactly how things are going to go. I don't know if I'm going to feel really stable and grounded and like full of purpose and meaning, or if I'm going to wake up and be like, I don't really know where I am. Who are these people talking to me and asking me for things? And, just kind of be in that spinny place. It all moves, and it's all important and is what it needs to be. So that's important to remember. So when you go through those pockets of feeling really disconnected, floaty, like you don't know what you're doing, are you doing it wrong? Has everything been wrong? Just remember that's not anything to anchor into, and it's gonna move through. But it is showing you stuff, and a lot of this stuff is being felt because it is coming up to be released. So you have to remember that. I'm going to give you a really gross, horrible analogy for this early in the morning, if it's morning where you are. But, imagine you're throwing up, right? Like you ate something and it didn't sit well, and now you're throwing it up. On the way out, it's probably going to remind you of the same thing that went in some way, shape, or form. But that's not what you want to pull back down into your system. Let it go. You're feeling it again because it's being released, but it's not coming in, okay? So allow yourself to throw up all your old things and don't swallow it back down. Oh my God, I'm so sorry about that. I should stick to baking metaphors, but that's just what came to me. So a lot of things are being brought up so they can go. And our job is to remain in a place of flow and neutrality so that we can observe these things without clinging to them or freaking out or, thinking that we have to anchor in to things that are literally moving out, okay? This is really difficult when it comes to relationships. So let's just talk about that real quick. If you are in a long-term or committed relationship during this energy, it is likely to feel very, very fucking confusing, because you'll have one day where you feel like, oh, it's okay. This is okay. We're communicating. This is going to happen. Da, 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 da. Like it's going to be all right. And then the next day happens and you're like, why am I surrounded by all of my worst decisions? That's really hard when you're in a committed relationship to have that kind of polar opposite destability, okay? So know that it is hard and it is completely impossible to root down in this energy. So don't burn down your house today or at any point in time in the next 2 weeks, okay? I'm not saying stay in a toxic or damaging or dangerous relationship. That is not what I am talking about. So if you are in that kind of a relationship where you are in danger, physical harm, emotional abuse, that is not what we are talking about here. We are talking about two people engaged in a longer term or committed relationship that have things that are not fitting, that are not being connected anymore, right? That don't feel quite right. They're in a state of flux. Something to remember about communication, right? We always talk about, okay, we need to communicate, you need to communicate, you need to communicate. But what we're actually saying is that we need comprehension. You need to understand. And without understanding, you can talk until you're blue in the face. If the other person doesn't understand what you're saying or isn't able to take the words you're using and integrate them into some meaning for themselves, then it's just a waste of air. So keep that in mind right now when you feel the urge to tell someone else to communicate more efficiently, or you feel like you need to communicate more efficiently. If comprehension is not a place where you're at, maybe take a breath and leave it alone for now. And I say that only because there is nothing to anchor into in this energy at all, even good stuff. So like, even if you're having like an amazing stretch and you're like, this is so amazing, I should make a commitment. Don't do it yet. Just wait. Ride it out. Enjoy it. But don't anchor yourself into it because everything is moving around. You know, this person over here in your life could make a decision. That decision affects something over here. And now everything you have going on in between is doing that, okay? It's reshuffling, big reshuffle period. So as squirmy as it is, as annoying as it is, hold tight and don't make snap judgment decisions during this energy. It's not a retrograde, but it kind of has that flavor to me where everything is just wonky and communication is difficult during this time. So a couple weeks and hold on to it. Take this time to really understand how you feel, right? Take this time to give yourself an opportunity to process things and move some things out of your system and out of your field. And for today, it's time to get into receive mode. So it's a good day if you are an altar person. It's a good day to refresh your altar. It's a good day to think about all of the elements that make up you in your most authentic form. And perhaps make an altar about that. Who are you when you are just you and you don't need to please anybody else? You don't need to perform. You don't need to make money. There's nothing that is moving you in any direction other than your true authentic self. What does that look like? And can you take that energy and really focus on it? Today is that day. And if you can take a few minutes, maybe go for a walk, have a moving meditation. If laying down and doing a meditation that way is good for you, just take a few minutes and allow the universe to connect with you and receive whatever information is coming through today, because it is like a highway of information today. It is streaming in. So, and I will search through my YouTube and try to find some meditation that you can use that would be helpful for that. If I have one, I can't really remember right now, but I'll look and see. And if I can't, I'll post a binaural beats on my regular page. So you can use that if you want to for a few minutes just to disconnect and reconnect with your higher self and receive whatever wants to come in for you today. Because like I said, big information today. So we've talked about the meaning of the 3s, the 8s. We did, right? So the 8s, if you think about it, is 3s connected, right? Is 1, 3 connected. So today is a day of receiving a pretty pretty big piece of the puzzle. So be open to receiving that in whatever way it comes. If it's coming through in a way that isn't blatant, that's fine. Most things right now are not blatant. So that's the 383 energy for today. And we talked about relationships and how everything is in flux and things don't feel like they fit sometimes, or they do and they don't, they do and they don't. Just let that do its weird topsy-turvy thing and don't freak out. 2 more weeks. We are banking on the 21st as that shift of energy comes to move us into the next phase, but we can't skip this one. So that's what's happening today. We are moving also into the new moon in Pisces, which will be at the end of the week. I think Restoration members, our call is on Saturday, and I'm probably gonna have to move it to 4:30, but our call is on Saturday. It's gonna be a new moon. We're doing it a little differently in that we are going to be doing an activation. So I'm gonna have you cozy up and lay down and we're gonna do some stuff. But this new moon in Pisces is a big feeler, as is this whole like Pisces energy, generally speaking. So it'll be interesting to see what comes through. But just remember, as we move towards the end of this week, that's energy that we're tapping into, new moon energy. So there's a lot happening. It's flowing. It's kind of feeling like, ooh, okay, what next? But it's good. And it's all going to lead us where we have been asking to go to, which is that next level of comprehension and understanding of where we are. So it's all good. All right, I'm going to pull a card from Fairy Forest to assist you. And I'm so sorry to everybody listening on Instagram because I don't know what's happening there. So Fairy Forest has been very vocal. Fairies and elementals, generally speaking, have been very vocal. So it's going to be interesting to see what comes through. And don't forget to join in again at 10:30 because I'm going to have Sherry from A Girl in the Universe, and she's going to be talking with me about the Schumann resonance, about ascension symptoms, and I don't even know what else. I'm very excited for this interview. I've been like, I just couldn't believe she decided that she would be on the podcast. So I'm very excited. We'll be live with that at 10:30 in the best possible way. I'm not super hopeful as I see what's happening here with my technology, but if you can't tune in live, I will upload it directly to the podcast and post that so you can listen. But if you do have any questions about the Schumann resonance or ascension, please send me a message or an email because I can make sure that your questions are answered during that live. So make sure you get them to me just in case you're not able to be on there live or I have some technical issue. All right, are you ready? This is not Ragnarok, thank freaking God. Okay, so it's number 32, and it is the Fairy Godmother. And I will post this in the Restoration Facebook group. 32. What's interesting about this is it's number 32, which is right after 31, obviously, but the one before 31 is the Fairy Norn, and I believe that is our energy card for the month of March. So it's interesting that this is coming through as the next one. When the Fairy Godmother comes to you, be aware that this is a time when you will discover what has... I'm sorry, I just can't with these cards. When the Fairy Godmother comes to you, be aware that this is a time when you will discover what has been long hidden to you. Your true self will be revealed in surprising ways every day, and sudden moments of heightened perception will make this time especially significant for you. People finally get found out, manipulators can be seen through, true costs of circumstances are revealed, and any lies about you will be seen. This can be hard, but it is truly a hardship that is born of protection. You are safer for knowing in whom you can trust in order to make the right choices for your soul. Throughout these revelations and insights will be a guiding hand, and this is the Fairy Godmother. She is showing you what it is you need to know in order to create and foster a life that works for you. And she's a protective force too. So what you need will come to you now, sometimes in very strange ways. Be mindful of counting your blessings at this time, for this is the energy your fairy godmother can draw upon to keep transforming your life into one which is more abundant, magical, meaningful, and joyful. Note every moment of truth. They are all significant, and you are better for discovering what was once hidden from you. So, yeah. Yay, fairies. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. I will post this card in the Restoration Facebook group. If you are not part of Restoration, you can join us for free and hop on the new moon call this weekend. It's also recorded and sent to you, so you don't have to be live, but it's fun to be live. So if you want to do that magic with us, you can do that for free this month and test it out and see if you like it. I think the code is ACTIVATE, but you are very welcome to message me if you need assistance with that. Have an amazing Monday. I hope to see some of you at 10:30 for the next interview. It's double dose of me this morning. It is a beautiful day. If you can get outside wherever you are and take some nice deep breaths in, receive information, connect with Mother Earth, connect with the sky, be here now. Everything is good. Everything is exactly as it is meant to be. You are doing an amazing job. You are so loved and so supported, and it is an honor to connect energies with you. Have an amazing day. Mwah. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and follow.